All right. Welcome back. Happy Monday. We are so excited to be with you here today. And I can't believe it's Monday again. I mean, it comes and goes so fast. And I absolutely love it, though. It's so good. A fresh start of a new week. And so many people love Mondays, but so many people hate them. But hey, here we are. And we're here to talk to you about something very serious today. But before that, I want to say, hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. I just want to give a shout out to Bob Proctor, who our mentor, who has started on his next journey of his spiritual path. And it was a tough weekend to, swallow that pill. Like it was too soon. I felt like it was too soon, but it was his time, and he really helped us get to where we are now. So this is definitely dedicated to him. Not this episode, but everything that we do is dedicated to him because he got us to where we are.
I love that you said that, Sarah, because it goes hand in hand with the topic that we're talking on today. And Bob is a big reason, and I should say the main reason with his teachings of how I got through what we're going to talk about today. So, today we want to talk about something that isn't talked about a lot, that people don't have the confidence of sharing things that they're going through, and it's the big word that starts with D, right? It's depression. And so many people feel like it's a journey that they should go on alone because they're scared to talk about it. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to bring it up. But it's something that I feel like in any amount, big or small, a lot of people go through. And we want to normalize talking about it because it's so important.
It is so important, and it's something that I suffered with for a long, long time. And if it wasn't for Bob Proctor and his teachings and learning The Secret and Abraham Hicks and Joe Dispenza and all the gurus out there who teach on mindfulness, I don't think I'd be where I am today. Like, depression was huge, and I was always made to feel bad about it, like that there was something wrong with me. And like, I've tried to off myself a few times, and I'm very blessed that it never happened, and I am where I am today. And nobody should ever have to go through that feeling of unwanted or unworthiness, or it's too hard, or you can't do it. Like, we are here to tell you that yes, you can, and you don't have to do it in silence. Like, we get trapped by the voices in our head, right? We get trapped by the ego who tries to take over in our mind and tell us things like, you'll never be good enough, you'll never amount to anything. And then, of course, if you grew up in a family who maybe told you similar things or said bad things to you, that just adds to it, right? But there's so much out there to help you get, I don't want to say get through it, but heal through it, because it's a journey of healing, and it doesn't always go away. You always tend to sometimes revert back to it, especially in different seasons, right? I find winter is a more difficult season. There's less vitamin D, and we're not around people, especially the pandemic. And the pandemic has proved that depression is a major concern in our society. So many people have lost their lives during this pandemic because they feel like they just can't get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to when my journey started through all of this, it's because I was depressed. I was in a place in my life where I had a new baby. My body went through so many changes, and like if say, like everybody has depression different ways through different thoughts, but mine was solely that I had this new baby. My body went through so many changes, and the questions started flooding in my mind of, what are you going to do? What's life going to be like? You have this new baby. And then I was trying to deal with my physical changes, like physically, but also with that came all the mental thoughts too. And it's it's funny how law of attraction works. When you're in a situation sometimes like that, it's like signs are thrown at you all over the place, like, you need to see this. This is something you need to see today. So they'll put it on your, or spirit, universe, whatever you believe in, puts that on your path. And that's exactly what happened with me. Was I was in a place where for the first time in my life, I think the thoughts got so bad, like literally so bad, that I didn't know what to do. But growing up, and this is the part I want to normalize, is that growing up, I was the tough kid. I was a tomboy. Like I still am. I'm wearing camo right now. Like I was a tough person. So being seen as that, I didn't ever share my struggles or share thoughts that I had that weren't serving me, because I felt like everybody seen me as such a tough kid. And even in hockey, like they called me a brute. They sent me out to like hit people and do things that the tough people do on the team, right? So when I came across this new journey in my life and I became a mom for the first time, and all of these thoughts came flooding in that I never experienced before, it was a huge hit to my mind, thinking like, what is this and how can I change it? And I have to tell you, like, I didn't start talking about it until recently, because for that same reason, I didn't think I could. I didn't think people would see me that way. And I thought that when I shared my story of struggle, people would be like, really, Kaily, you're going through that? I didn't realize. You're always so tough, and you're always smiling and you're always happy, but look at the greats in life. Like a
Yeah.
lot of actors and actresses put that smile on.
Yeah.
What's the actor?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. You see that all the time, right? And all of his different characters of him, he always had a smile on, but then he was going through so many battles in his mind that he didn't know how to deal with,
Yeah.
which had him take his life. And it happens every single day with so many people. And we are here today to talk with you about it, to show you that you can heal it and you can move forward.
And Robin Williams, he was in the industry of making people happy, right? Like he played every role. Like he accomplished everything that he said he was going to do. Like he hit every check mark. Being an addict myself, and everything that I had gone through when I was an addict, um, it is more challenging, I find, to get through the noise in our head, right? I find that there's just so much chatter going on, and especially when you're trying to become clean and sober, you're always it's like having an argument inside your head. Okay, quit for this reason. Don't quit because of this. Quit for this reason. Don't quit because of this. And it's like back and forth all the time. And now, even being sober, sober for 6 years, you still have those thoughts like, well, why don't I just give it up? Why don't I just give it up and just go back to the way it was, and all of these things. And so it's a constant battle. And I think it's a constant battle for all of humanity, right? If you don't have self-love, and that's where it starts with. It starts with self-love. And life is, I'm being completely honest here because I'm no BS. Life is a difficult road, right? It's not a straight line. It'll never be a straight line. Something will always be happening, okay? If it's not a fucking pandemic that's happening, it'll be a market crash. If it's not a market crash that'll be happening, it'll be something new that's happening, right? Like something's always, like 9/11, like something's always happening. But we keep expecting that it's going to be this straight line. But from back in the day, from Jesus, when he was carrying the cross, something traumatic always happens in our lives. And I know, Kaily, being as a mom, you want to protect your kids as much as possible, right? The best way to protect them is to protect their mindset, grow their mindset, teach them how to love and have compassion and joy, not only for themselves, but for humanity as well. And then when the tough moments come, they'll be able to handle it with grace.
I love that you said that, Sarah, because I can see it now, being in mindset work and having children, how important it is. Because I can look at my childhood and how my mom, it's more my mom, but she'll like protecting your children and putting them like in your mind to keep them safe is different from mentally to physically. Like, for example, if a little kid starting to walk that's unbalanced begins to pick up speed and run, there's two things that can happen, right? You can say slow down and tell them not to do it so they don't experience the failure that might happen, or you can cheer them on, tell them how good they're doing, and reaffirm positively that they're doing good. They're making progress, they're moving, right? And as everyone, like in all areas of our lives, we try to protect it. And a lot of protecting comes from just not doing because we're scared of the outcome, right? But
Yeah.
when you're protecting the outcome and you look at it from the outcome, you're going to try it. You're going to do it to move towards it. And that's totally a different thing, especially being a mom. And I love that you just said that, Sarah, because I never thought about it that way, because it's totally true. There's such a different like meaning in protecting with physically and mentally. And mentally protecting people is so much more powerful and moving than just trying to stop something that's happening in the negative way before it even happens. It might not ever happen.
Yeah, you're unconsciously doing it, right? There was this TikTok, I can't remember what it says, but we're as parents, like I'm not a parent, so I can't say this, but you're trying to protect them from them learning safely. So like for instance, a kid going down a slide, right? Like maybe they put extra water on the slide, right? And you know when you put water on the slide, you're gonna fly your ass down that slide, right? Well, they're excited to see what happens, right? But as soon as you say be careful, now that seed has been planted, like what's gonna happen, right? But if you just let them go and they come flying down and they fall on their ass, one, they're either gonna laugh about it, or two, they're gonna cry, right? And
Yeah.
if they cry, then you can say you learned a lesson, right? They probably won't do it again.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate thing, right? And that's the thing with going through anything, and especially with having the hard times in life, is that when you have the the community, the people behind you that are cheering you on and helping you and moving you and helping you when the hard times come, where you can have a thought that not be good, not going to serve you, and you know that, but it's just hard to control those because they've been happening for so long, that when that thought happens, you can reach out to your community and say, guys, it's a tough morning. Send me some love. I need some help. Can we talk through this? Because that's what helped me. It wasn't, yes, I did the work. I put all the work in and I got real with myself and I started analyzing my thoughts. But the biggest thing, and you can see it in every single movement, all the gurus out there, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Joe
Said
Dispenza,
Guru, Jay Shetty.
yeah, they all
All of them.
have a community. It's a movement, right? Look at the
Yeah.
the convoy right now. It's a movement. It's one person's energy impacts another person's energy, and it's like the domino effect, or like the ripple, right? So
Yeah.
when you have hard times, when things happen in your life, when that memory pops up from 20 years ago that you're like, why am I thinking about this right now, and why is it leading me down this dark swirling path, that's when you can reach out to your community and say, I need you guys today. And they are always there for you. And that's what we are doing here.
Here's the thing though. When I was like darkly, deeply depressed and like was not wanting to live life at ever, you don't want to be surrounded by people, right? It's like the furthest thing from you. When I was depressed, I was like, just leave me alone. just leave me alone. I'll deal with it myself. I'll deal with it myself. And so I'd never pay for anything. I wouldn't pay for coaching. I wouldn't pay for like anything. Like I did everything for free that I could find online. Like I would Google it because I'm by myself, right? I'm by myself. I don't have the people bugging me and asking me, am I okay? And how are you doing? And are you growing? I'm just suffering in my little bubble, right? I was okay with suffering in my bubble, but it got me nowhere for like 25 years. For 25 years, I suffered deeply in silence. And when I tried to bring it up to the ones I love, they made me feel like I was crazy. But it's amazing when strangers come together who have the same type of, history that you have, everything changes. It is so much easier to open up to a stranger. I think that's why, therapists are so good at their job, is because they're unbiased, right? They're unbiased compared to like a friend or family. A friend would say, just shake it off. Things will get better. Don't worry. This too shall pass. How many times did you fucking hear this too shall pass? Well, it never passed, right? It never passed. And the dark thoughts kept me crippled. I kept doing the free things over and over and over again. I kept Googling how to get out of depression and how to be happy, but those things weren't working. And you're absolutely right, Kaily. It's when you surround yourself, when you insulate yourself, you're insulated by people who want to help you succeed. Because there's no better feeling on this planet than helping your fellow man, right? Like Mother Teresa, always helping and doing whatever she could. Like that's like Tony Robbins is always helping. Like every time you buy a ticket to Tony Robbins, he feeds a family or 10 families, right? He's done like 880 million families fed. So when you insulate yourself with people who are on the same mission and who've been where you are, it makes it so much easier to reach your goal. It takes 10 times longer for you to do it on your own. It costs 100 times more for you to figure it out on your own. And it takes 100,000 times longer. So if you just insulate yourself with a community of men and women, people who speak that same language, you're going to see the results. Like it's guaranteed. You just have to show up.
Absolutely. And I think people listening right now that have been in this dark place before, who are even maybe currently in a dark place right now, it's probably hitting you that you maybe don't have that support system. You don't have the people that you can talk to, because it's so true. Like if you talk to your family and you've never talked to them about it before, they'll be like, what are you talking about? You're always happy. Right? But they know you.
Or they know you because they knew you from a kid, and they'll say, stop being a drama queen, stop playing the victim, right? Like I had that happen.
Yeah.
Like it's not, they don't know. They just know you your whole life. They know what you look like and your personality, but they don't know what the fuck is going on in your head. And it's not like if the worst thing that I heard was, oh, stop playing the victim. I got that so much. Stop playing the victim, to the point where I thought it was me. I thought something was so wrong with me. But it wasn't me. It was the thoughts in my head, and understanding that I didn't fit the scripted lifestyle, that I didn't fit that timeline that was templated for me before I was born. And it's tough. It is so tough when you don't feel like you belong. But I can tell you that there's billions of people out there who are just like you, who are, I like to call them black sheep, right? Like I like to stick out in a crowd. That's always been me. I like to be out in a crowd. I will be the first person to dance on the dance floor, right? Because I want to create that movement. I want you to know that you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are so much more than that. And once you understand that, you can actually breathe. Like at one point I couldn't breathe. I remember I was hyperventilating so bad on the floor, and I was talking to my best friend, and she's trying to tell me this too shall pass. She kept saying that, and I can't breathe. I was at the point where I couldn't breathe. She thought I was going to pass out. It's not fun.
So many people go through it, and I love that you said that too, Sarah, that you said, you had this timeline planned out for you before you were even here. And that's the thing, right? Society plants this picture, and your upbringing may even, that you have to be in school, married, have kids, and a good job by 25. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you grow up with that and that's not how your life is working out to be, all of the questions come. Like, I have friends and I have family who I see online struggling because that's
Mm-hmm.
the thought that they, thought that they had to be, but it's not. So when that's your mental thought and the pattern that you're supposed to follow, what you're thinking every day for your whole life, and it's not working out, every human looks at that and thinks, okay, well, what's going on? What's wrong with me? The doubts start coming in, the fear starts coming in, and that's when things happen in your mind that get you into that depression because you're so fixated on living a life that somebody else planned for you. But that's
You
not how it
know,
has to be.
no, it's funny that you say that because the Facebook timeline, you can see your memories.
Yeah.
I was crying out because I would post all of my bad days. Like I go through them and I'm like, who is this person from 10 years ago? 10 years, like not even that long ago, posting about, oh, I'm so depressed. Oh, I don't want to sit in traffic. Oh, I'm miserable. Why do I have to work? And I'm posting all of these things. Even when I was in school, oh, I'm still in school. I'm still in the library. I'm still doing this. This is due tomorrow. Like all I did was complain. Like I was lashing out. I needed help so bad that I was playing that victim because I was constantly told I was the victim. So I was playing the victim so that my superhero would come and rescue me. And then when the superhero came out and offered me an opportunity to look at their course or their business or their program, I would say, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. But here I am screaming for my superhero to come save me by posting all this shit online and then not giving them the opportunity when they did show up.
Yeah.
And then when I gave in, like, don't get me wrong, like, I still have my moments, okay? I still have a day maybe that I have a bad day. I'm a woman. I'm fucking hormonal like crazy. Like, it's insane, my hormones. My husband knows when it's that time because like it's batshit crazy. And like I'll have my moments, but it's a moment now. It's not a month, it's not a week, it's not a year, it's not even a day anymore. It's my moment. And then I shower and I do my affirmations and I talk with Kaily. Kaily has been there when I've had my dark moments. She would call my husband and say, put her on the phone, right? Because I do have my dark moments because the ego can sometimes be so strong, but you are so much stronger than your ego. And when you can recognize it and you can decipher the thoughts that you're having and you can sit down and write gratitude for those negative thoughts and you can find a light in the darkness, everything changes. And being surrounded by fucking strangers who know nothing about you, who want to help you, is a beautiful bonus.
Oh my God, it's the best thing. And it's honestly what's changed my entire life. And like from the beginning of this episode, when Sara was talking about Bob and the beautiful person he is, that's what his mission was to help people. And he didn't know one person that he talked to. He literally just started talking to people and saying,
Yeah.
try this, try this, try this. And he created a program that we both went through some of our darkest times. And look at it. Sara was literally a stranger from PEI that I've met in person once in my life. And that's how this works, is that when you're having the thoughts, when you're having the doubt come in, just have that little spark in your mind to think, Sara and Kaily. Listen to them, Sara and Kaily. One thought I need to change right now, and just write it out like you want it to happen. Because I have to tell you, coming from, and I don't want to get all the way into it because it's pretty bad. Like my deepest depression was pretty bad. I'm here to tell you, you can get out of it and you can heal that, because those thoughts are exactly what Sara said. They come from your emotions. They come from hormones in your body. They come from your body being chemically unbalanced. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it all the time, but it's something that we can control. And that's the biggest thing that I think I've learned out of everything I've done with personal development, is that you are in control. You always are. You always will be. You're the thing that came in this world, and going out of this world is just you. Like, you literally are in control. So when you're having the moments, when you're in the fear, when you're in the doubt, just change it around. And yes, it's hard. It's hard, especially if you've been battling it forever, for as long as you can remember. Like, I talk to people almost every single day that they're like, Kaily, I haven't had a positive thought in 10 years. Like, that's a long time. And it's very, very, very important to get out of that. And that's what we are here for. We are here to help you. We are here to move you forward. We're here to paint that picture with you, to get you out of that picture you're painting every day that's not serving you, and showing you the color in life. Because life's not meant to be lived in black and white. Like, life is beautiful. It's meant to be abundant. It's meant to be happy. But the thing is that it all comes from within. Everything comes from within. So when you can nail that down, and like Sara said, don't get both of us wrong. We both have our moments. But
Hey, listen,
yeah.
life is not a straight line. And right now I'm going through something where a group of people came together and took clips from all of my videos and podcasts and made a compilation to make me look like I'm a horrible person. Like, it was like 14 minutes of just me looking like I'm the worst person in the world. So there's always going to be something that's going to come up in your life that's going to try to knock you back down to where you were, who's going to try to get you back into the dark. But if you just keep going, and like Kaily said, you write it out and you listen to positivity and you listen to the podcast like this, you get on YouTube and you surround yourself in a community, a Facebook community, or a coaching community, you surround yourself with people who are going to light that light in you, you will overcome the darkest times. Like, this what's happening is not even my darkest time. Like, I had very, very, very dark times. Like, it was a miracle that I got out of that time when I did. But no.
Yeah, and it's just that, it's surrounding yourself with the people. And like, if you're in a place, like Sara said, sometimes you just don't want to talk about it because it's so much. And that's okay too. If you don't want to talk about it, pull up our YouTube channel, pull up our podcast, and just sit and listen. Because the more you listen to positivity and the more you listen to stories, like Sara and I are sharing our life story with you. There's not much we don't share with you. So when you listen to stories and you realize it's not just me, and I need to be surrounded by these people, all keeping in mind right now, you're not talking, just listen. Surround yourself with the people. That's going to give you in itself new thoughts, better thoughts, positive thoughts. So it's like a chain reaction both ways, negative and positive. But it's whatever you surround yourself with. And if the only thing right now that's surrounding you is your thoughts, click on our podcast, click on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube so you never miss an episode, and just listen in. That literally can be the first step. And then if you're loving it and you love what we're talking about and it's making a difference, which I know it is because we get flooded with testimonials every single week of how amazing and transformational what it is that we do is happening and helping people around the world. When you're loving it and you're feeling it and you want more, we have a weekly webinar. It's every single Wednesday. Come listen. Be a fly on the wall. It's at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern every Wednesday. And Sara presents an entire slideshow on stories and experiences. And this is life. Like, we are not here to bullshit you. We're here to tell you what we've been through, what we've done, how to be successful, because we've been through it all. We're We're not here to tell you it's easy and tomorrow's going to change, right? We're here to tell you this is life. It happens, and we're here to pull you out of that.
Yeah. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone.
Yeah. So I will put in the descriptions below here the information for the weekly webinar. If that's something you want to hop on, absolutely. It is registered. So if you can't make it, you will get a replay. So make sure you do still register so we can send you the replay. And then always subscribe so you don't miss an episode here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're hearing on the podcast, I think you can favorite a podcast. So do that, and then you won't miss an episode. But we are here. We love you. We want you to normalize talking about your feelings, getting it out, sharing it with everybody, because that is what happens when you see a mastermind. That's all masterminding is. And we're a part of a masterminding group too. So if you want to be a part of a group and you want to mastermind and it's something you've always thought of but you've never done, and you want to be a part of a community, put in the comments on YouTube, send Sara or I both a message directly. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, right here on YouTube, and just let us know how you want to be a part of what it is we're doing, because it's beautiful. I literally love what we do, and that we can share this with the world, and we can help just one more person every single day.
Me too. It's my favorite. We love you, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.
See you then.